Welcome to Speaking of Art with Jay Harmon, the colored pencil artist. All of his works are intricate pieces of original art, created entirely from colored pencils. Tune into the show to learn about Jay and his fascinating artistic abilities, as he interviews featured guests, discusses new artwork, and guides us through the many styles and techniques that make his creations so unique. So sit back, relax, and take part in this one-of-a-kind studio production. Enjoy the show.
The Colored Pencil Artist Show. I'm Jay Harmon, and I'm here to take you through another phase of our picture that we've been working on, which is, as you can see, colored balloons. These very colorful hot air balloons, and they make for a very nice picture. And so today I would like to I want to announce that I will have an announcement next week that we will be having classes, and I will be teaching them, and they will either be actual classes at the studio or online, and they're going to be starting with kids classes, and I'm going to have classes for adults. So please stay tuned, and next week I'll have more information on that. So anyway, what we want to do is get started a little bit more on the picture that we have been working on, and I hope you've been following along with us. And if you haven't, please take this time to get some colored pencils, sit back, have a glass of wine, put your slippers on, and just enjoy. Put on some jazz, and this is a time to relax. So I just want everybody, when you're working on colored pencil art, to just use that as a time of pleasure and relaxation. So we're going to start today, and if you've seen the picture before, I finished up this balloon this week. Okay, we had it a little over half done last week, and I went back and I finished it up. What I did on each of the colors, I used 2 or 3 different shades of different colors. Like the blues, I have 3 shades of blue, 3 shades of green, a light, an intermediate, and a dark, and they're all going from light to dark this way, because this is the way going toward the center of the picture. So the dark areas are on the right side, and the light areas are on the left side, and you can see it follows the pattern all the way through the picture from the top to the bottom, all the colors. And the colors I have, they repeat themselves all the way from the top to the bottom, and I put that in there so they would look a little bit three-dimensional. And what we're going to do today is work a little bit on the background, see the mountains and everything that are in the background. Up here is the mountain. I'm going to start at the furthest one, and this one is way far away, and it's just getting some sunlight. Okay, and it's like that. I'm going to put 2 different colors. I'm going to make it look like it's really in the background. And this is if you can see this, I'm using right here a goldenrod and also a pink rose. Those 2 colors are nice, soft colors to blend into our background here. So I'm just going to put these right in here and right in here like this, right up to the balloon. And I'm not going to do anything dark because this is way in the distance, so we want it to look nice and nice and light back there, nice light colors, like we're getting the sunshine and everything there. So I'm working around the other balloon that I'm going to be putting in here. I added another balloon to the picture, so we are going to put that in too. And then over here is not so much brown, but this is like the distant mountain, and I'll add a little pink to that. Pink rose. I'll put that here, if you can see that. Okay, a little bit of the pink rose added on a little bit to the goldenrod. Okay, I put, but you can use your own imagination. If you want to use different colors, that's fine. I'm just using this, and then what I'm going to do now is add a little bit of white to it, because white will make it look like it's sort of in the distance. You get, if you look into the distance anytime there, if you're looking at a mountain or anything far away, the atmosphere between you and where that mountain is, there's air between there, the atmosphere, and it will make it lighter in the background. Things up close, like our balloon here, this is going to be bright. Everything in the background is not going to be as bright. So that will make it look more like like a background, like it's off in the distance. So I'm just going to put a little white, add a little white on top of those other colors. And you can see that makes it look just a little bit lighter back there. And possibly if there's one other color I can add on top, just to do what I'm going to do. One other color to add on to that, a little light peach. And this is another color that's just going to blend the other colors together. We'll put those this is kind of a go-between color, and we're putting that in here. Okay, this is our faraway mountain, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my my colorless blending pencil, and I'll go back over this right here and put that in there like that, and just add it like that, and we've pretty much got our mountain in the distance, our furthest away mountain, and you can decide how far away it is. And so that's the further away mountain. Now I'm going to put together and color a little bit the closer mountain. There's like 3 mountain ranges here. What I'm going to be doing is one is a mountain range that's a little bit closer, and that one isn't quite as high as the other one, and it's more like a bluish color there. Okay, so we'll just put this in here, and also the color is bluish because, again, with the atmosphere and shadow, it makes it look a little bit more blue than it probably would. It would be probably more green if you were closer to it. But right now, what we're looking at is kind of a background that's a little bit further away. And so I'm just going to make this a little bit blue and maybe put a little bit up here on this side. Just right there. And that kind of takes that mountain range to the background. And then I'm going to put a little bit of greenish shade in it, just a little bit. Just go over it lightly with a little bit of green. Okay. And now to make it lighter, once again, I'm going to take my white pencil and I'm going to go back here, and this also makes it look like it's a little bit hazy. So it's not, we don't want it to look real sharp because it's way in the background. And we want it to look a little hazy. So I'm just adding the white to that. And it looks like it's way more in the background. Okay. And there's that part of the mountain so far. And I'm just going to blend this together a little bit in circular motions, so it looks a little bit rougher, so you're not really seeing lines. I'm just going in circular motions with the pencil here, and that kind of shows how it would go. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is up here, you see the clouds. Okay, I've added a couple clouds to this picture just to make it more interesting. And so what I'm going to do now with the clouds, I'm going to make them so they're not just pure white. Remember I said before that the clouds are usually flat on the bottom. They're not, they don't look like cotton balls or popcorn. They have shape to them. And so I'm just going to go back here a little bit, and I'm going to put a little darker blue right here just to show a little bit of texture on the clouds, so we can. And again, these are kind of off in the distance, so you can see them like that. There's one cloud. I just added the texture so it looks a little bit more three-dimensional instead of just a plain white. We're making it look more realistic. Doing this here, put this on the other cloud. And you can make your clouds as colorful as you want to. If you want to make them colorful, that's great. Just add whatever you want. You can, if you want to make them look really happy. I like to have the clouds so they're not too mean in this picture. I can make clouds that look really angry, but here I want the clouds to kind of look really nice in the background as part of the picture. It kind of goes together. Okay, you don't want to have something that doesn't really go with your picture. So now we have the clouds in the background. I'm going to take a little bit of very light blue.
Jay, Mary from Minnesota wants to know what is the degree of difficulty? Has this been the hardest piece you've ever done?
No, this isn't really that hard. It's there's a lot of detail to it. But we just like any piece that I do. This one, the difficulty, you just take it one part at a time. I break it down into many parts, and each one I make like it's an individual picture. And whether I'm doing the balloon or the background or the sky or the clouds or what I'm doing, each one is like an individual picture, and then we just put it all together. So you don't have to think of it as really difficult. That's how a lot of my pictures are. The big pictures that I do are pictures like, for instance, the lady over here. That one is done. I did that, and I started it out with by taking an old black and white picture from like the 1920s, and I found this lady, and I loved the way her hair looked and everything, so I just colorized it. I made it in color, and then I added the flowers to the picture to give it a little bit of interest behind her head there, and it looks like wood beside the flowers. And then in the background, I added the different layers of clouds. That was like another part of the picture. And then at the bottom, I put a little water to give it a little bit different color, like a beach. And each thing like that is another layer of interest for the picture that you can do. So nothing is really that difficult. If you're thinking of it, if you're like doing a face, don't think of doing a face, or an eye or whatever. You're doing shapes. Okay, just break it down into shapes, into basic shapes, and what colors you're going to do those shapes. And if you do it that way, it makes it a lot easier than trying to concentrate on one big picture and how I'm going to complete that. So that's what the basic thing is. If you make it easier for yourself, it's much easier to do the picture. So right here, I'm going to use a little bit of light blue, very light blue over that, and a little bit of light blue over here on this cloud. And the reason I've got a cloud on either side, because it makes it more symmetrical. It kind of balances it off. And let's see, where's my, okay, and now I'll take my blender here. We've got a blender, and we're going to blend the cloud so it looks like a nice soft texture on that cloud. Okay, so that's so much. So far, we got the sky part of the mountain and some clouds, and when we come back after the break, we're going to work on some more of the background, and we'll go from there. Okay, we'll see you in a minute.
Jay Harmon, exclusively in the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon captures the essence of really creative and captivating mind. Jay Harmon brings light into the darkness on majority of his pieces, using a negative background to highlight the details of some of his looks. I know some artists use white canvases, but he thrives on a black canvas. And here's the kicker: he only uses pencil, colored pencil, graphite pencil, and pencil for his art pieces. Yes, I know it's hard to fathom that these beautiful pieces came from pencil, but yes, they did. And the only way you can experience Jay Harmon is if you come to the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon, an unconventional artist with a unique story behind every canvas.
A little bit more of the background, and some people have been wondering about how the reflection is done. Well, next week we're going to start on the reflection on the picture. So if you're really interested in how to do that, it's not difficult, and I will show you, so stay tuned for next week, and we will be working on the reflection part of the picture. So now I'm going to do some more of the mountain, and this part we're getting a little bit closer, so I'm going to use a little bit of a darker color here, and take it around. I'm just going around, I'm making circles and just filling in this area. See, it makes it look like it's a little bit of a different plane, a little bit of a different area coming closer. And we've got this coming in there like that. And we're just bringing this green up here a little bit. See, and this is just my basic color background. And then I'm going to go in and add details a little bit, because we're getting a little bit closer now. You will be able to see a few of the details on the mountain. If I'm doing this much of the mountain, I'll be able to put in some details, take some lighter greens and put them, just scatter them through here so it looks like maybe there's some trees and some things going on here. And I'm just adding another shade of green in here, and you can see that it looks a little bit like a tree line. Okay, and then I'm going to add in here a little bit of orange, and this just is to show a little, like maybe some bare spots where there aren't any trees. Just add a little color in there. And see this here, we got and if you look there, now we have our next layer coming in there, and I might take a little bit of dark grass green and add this up here just to make it stand out a little bit in this area in the back, so we can tell that it stands out from the other mountain range. And this one, as I said, is getting closer and closer. Okay, so what we will be getting up to in a little while is getting up to the tree line up here, which we have our tree line, and we're going to show trees and so on, and maybe I'll do some like it's autumn to make the colors really stand out. We can add a little bit more color to these to this picture, make it stand out a little bit more. Add a little red on the tree line, and so on there. Put some more darker green down here, because we are getting closer now to the we're coming closer to where the balloon is. So each one will be a little bit darker, just to show that it's more three-dimensional, as you can see in the background. And I'll add a little bit different green in here. Just want to make it look like it's coming closer to you right here. We're looking away in the background, but I started in the background, and I'm coming, each layer is a little bit of a closer part of the thing, and we're going to go all the way down to where the trees are here, and maybe put a little bit of green around where the trees are also. So you can just use your imagination on how we're going to do the different trees and different things. Just make them so they stand out. Just make a tree line, because this is your last layer before you go to the lake. And if you want, this one has a little house in here. We might add a little house to the picture, just to give it a little bit of more interest. And let me see here. Sharpen up my white pencil here, and I'm just going to possibly add this little house right there.
And Jay, how do you keep the symmetry on the house compared to the trees, so that the house doesn't appear bigger than the trees?
It has to actually fit in with the size. Whatever size you're going to have your trees, you have to have your house the same proportion. You don't want to make the house real big or real small, and I'm going to put the house into the trees. So when we're looking back here. You'll see it's back here, but it's not.
You're measuring the height of the house by your eye?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just seeing by the tree. And, you know, we've got trees around it, trees in front of it, and the house will be here. And then I'll go back and, you know, add a little bit of detail to it so you can tell. So you'll be able to tell that it's a house. Maybe I'll put a little, maybe add a little color to it to make it look, maybe some bricks, add a little bit more to it so you can tell that that's a house in with the trees. And I'll work on that. That's what you do. You just start with something like that and keep it in proportion. Always keep it in proportion, and then just add the details that you want. I'll add the details later on so it'll look like the tree fits into well, the house fits into around the trees. And you know, all these trees here. And then we are going to, last thing we'll do today is I'm going to add, you know, use some.
Hey Jay, they want you to add a house to the far right.
Over here?
Yeah, because it would be smaller in proportion.
It would be very smaller, yes.
They want to see how you do it by eye.
Okay, it would be.
They're getting more tricky, Jay.
They are. That's good. If we're going to put in a house over here, it would be very much smaller. And you know, I could put in a couple little houses over here, and then I'll add the details to them. But this is about how big they would be, because over here the trees are only that big. So you know, you can see around there, and then they keep getting larger as we come over here, because not only are you looking straight back at the picture, but also the lakeside where the houses and the trees are, that goes back at an angle also. So things go here from larger to smaller here, and also looking here toward the mountain, it gets larger here and smaller there. So we're going really in two different directions. We are, you know, we're taking it. The lakeside goes here, and the dimension for the balloon going back, and this balloon is going to be like somewhere in the middle between that. So what I will do is just add more layers in with the trees and over here, and put in some houses over here so you can see how they look, and maybe add another house over here so we balance it out a little bit. And so what I'm going to add here now, going to start, we're just going to make, it's a kind of a sandy area right here on the lake. So I'm just going to put, this is more goldenrod. I'm just going to add that right there and right here, and you'll see that that we're going to, and now this is going to come down a little bit this way, because the lake shore is larger over here than it is back here. So it's you know, so we're going to have that. And let me see, I'll blend this out. Where's my blender? I have everything but my blender here. And we'll blend this out, make it look a little bit more sandy.
Jay, is the blender a special tool?
The blending pencil is it's called a colorless blender. And what it does, you can, if you're working with two different colors, let's see, it's a special pencil, and with Prismacolor pencils, which is what I use, the colorless pencil is the only one that doesn't have a color on the outside of the pencil. Okay, it's just plain wood. And that's because there is no real color. But what it does, it just blends colors together and makes them look like they belong together. So they're, you can take different shades. That's how I'm working with the sky and with different areas. I use the blender, and that blends things together like that. So
It's very cool.
anyway, it's a very important tool, and I would recommend everybody get one if you're going to be doing any colored pencil work, because you can really enhance your work by using this one tool. Okay, there's many ways to achieve different things you want to do, but it's nice to know what tools are available to you when you're working on that. So anyway, so next time we are going to I'm going to this week I'll go back and finish up the picture down to the water. Okay, and then when we look at it again next week, we are going to do the reflection. We're going to start on the reflection, and you'll see how we do that, and it's not as difficult as you might think. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying the color pencil drawing, and I hope you're finding it relaxing. Our number here is 1-888-994-4995. Please call anytime if you have any questions or things you'd like to say. And my website, if you'd like to see some more of my work, is coloredpencilartist.com. Okay? And I'm Jay Harmon, and it's been great to see you. See you again next week. Bye-bye.